The worst part about being a veterinarian isn't the long hours or difficult cases. It's coming home exhausted, only to find your own pets missing. That's exactly what happened to me last Tuesday, after a brutal 16-hour shift that included 3 emergency surgeries and a particularly aggressive German Shepherd with a cut paw. I knew something was wrong the moment I pulled into my driveway. Max and Luna always greeted me at the living room window, their eager faces pressed against the glass, tails wagging furiously as my car approached. But tonight, the window was empty. The house was dark. "Max, Luna," I called out as I unlocked the front door, my voice echoing through the silent house. No clicking of nails on hardwood. No excited barks. No wagging tails bumping against furniture in their rush to reach me. The panic hit like a physical blow. I dropped my bags and ran through every room, calling their names with increasing desperation. The back door was locked, the fence intact. Their food bowls were untouched since morning. Their beds were cold. My hands shook as I checked the security camera app on my phone. The footage showed my mother-in-law, Patricia, letting herself in with the spare key around noon. She walked straight to the living room, where Max and Luna were napping. The next clip showed her leading them out to her car, their tails wagging trustingly as they followed the woman they'd known since they were puppies. That's when my phone buzzed with her text. "Dear Emily, I hope your shift wasn't too tiring. We need to discuss some family matters. $8,000 should cover the conversation. Until then, Max and Luna are enjoying a little vacation. Don't bother calling Michael. He's working late." The room spun as I read her words again. My mother-in-law had just stolen my dogs and was holding them for ransom. Max, the gentle golden retriever who helped me through vet school, who sat with me through endless study sessions and comforted me after failed exams. Luna, the spirited husky mix who came into my life as a traumatized rescue and blossomed into the most loving companion. I sank onto the couch, my mind racing. Michael, my husband of 3 years, worked as a software engineer and often stayed late at the office. He'd grown up with Patricia's manipulative behavior and had a blind spot when it came to his mother's actions. "She means well," he'd say whenever I brought up her controlling tendencies. "That's just how she shows she cares." But this was different. This was criminal. My phone buzzed again. "They really are such sweet dogs, Emily. Max keeps looking at the door, waiting for you. It would be a shame if they had to stay away from home too long. Dogs can get so confused about where they belong." The threat in her words was clear. My hands trembled with rage as I pulled up our security camera footage again. The video quality was perfect, Patricia's face clearly visible as she led my dogs away. I downloaded the clips and took screenshots of her texts, my veterinary training kicking in. Document everything. Create a clear timeline. Gather evidence. "Where are my dogs, Patricia?" I texted back, keeping my tone neutral despite the fury building in my chest. "Safe for now. But you know how these things go. Animals get lost all the time. Sometimes they're never found. Unless what? Unless their owners make better choices, family choices, the kind of choices that show proper respect for family hierarchy." I knew exactly what she meant. For the past year, Patricia had been pressuring us to sell our modest home and move into her sprawling Victorian mansion. Family should stay together, she'd insist at every dinner, every holiday. That tiny house isn't suitable for starting a proper family. You need to think about your future children. What she really wanted was control over our lives, our decisions, our future. Michael and I had used most of our savings for the down payment on this house, proud of making it on our own. Patricia had never forgiven us for not accepting her generous offer to live with her. "This is illegal," I typed. "You can't just take someone's dogs." "Oh, Emily, always so dramatic. I'm family. I'm just watching them while we sort out some financial arrangements. $8,000 transferred to my account by midnight, and they'll be home before you wake up. Keep Michael out of this. He's under enough stress at work. This is between us." The fury building in my chest went cold and focused. Patricia had finally gone too far. She thought she was dealing with the quiet, accommodating daughter-in-law who endured her snide comments at family dinners, who smiled politely through her criticism of everything from my career choice to my cooking, who kept the peace for Michael's sake. But she'd made a crucial mistake. She didn't know that before I became a veterinarian. I'd worked as a vet tech in animal control. I'd seen cases like this before. Custody disputes, revenge situations, ransom attempts. I knew exactly what steps to take. My fingers flew across my phone screen, screenshots first, then a call to the police non-emergency line. Next, my friend Lisa at Animal Control, then the microchip registry to flag Max and Luna as stolen. Within 30 minutes, I had a case number and was sending the security footage to a detective. I'll give you one chance, I texted Patricia. Return Max and Luna now, unharmed, and I won't press charges. Her response came quickly. Such ingratitude. After everything I've done for you, I'm trying to help you understand how a proper family works. $8,000 is nothing compared to what you'll lose if you keep defying me. I was about to respond when another text came through. Remember, Emily dear, I have photos of everything. Every time you've come home late. Every takeout dinner instead of cooking properly for my son. Every time you've chosen work over family. What would Michael think if he saw proof of how little you care about being a good wife? The manipulation was so transparent it almost made me laugh. Almost. Instead, I took more screenshots and forwarded them to the detective. Then I called Michael's office. Hey Em, he answered, sounding distracted. I'm kind of in the middle of something. Your mother took our dogs. Silence. Then. What do you mean, took our dogs? She broke in while I was at work, stole them, and is demanding $8,000 for their return. I have it all on security footage. I've already called the police. The sound of his chair scraping back. Papers rustling. I'm on my way home. Don't do anything until I get there. I've already done everything I need to do, I said quietly. The question is, Michael, what are you going to do? Michael arrived home 20 minutes later, his tie loose and hair disheveled from running his hands through it, his typical stress response. I wordlessly handed him my phone, open to the security footage. His face went pale as he watched his mother lead our dogs away. She's gone too far this time, he whispered, sinking onto the couch. I knew she was upset about the house situation. But this, he scrolled through her texts, each one making his shoulders sag further. God, Em, I'm so sorry. I don't mean sorry, I said, keeping my voice steady. I need to know if you're with me on this, because in about 10 minutes, officers will be at your mother's house. They'll either find our dogs there, or we'll have to start a broader search. Either way, she's facing criminal charges. Michael's head snapped up. Criminal charges, but she's family. And there it was, the ingrained response I'd been dreading. Family above all else. Family loyalty. Family secrets. Being family doesn't give her the right to steal our dogs and threaten them, I said, fighting to keep my voice calm. What if she decides to do this again? What if next time it's worse? His phone buzzed. Patricia's name flashed on the screen. He stared at it, frozen. Put it on speaker, I said. He nodded and answered. Michael, darling. Patricia's voice filled our living room, syrupy sweet. I just had the most disturbing call from the police. Can you believe your wife is causing such drama? I'm simply doing what's best for the family, trying to help you both understand the importance of proper family values. Mom, Michael's voice cracked. Where are Max and Luna? Oh, they're fine, having a lovely time with me. But Emily's behavior is concerning, don't you think? Calling the police on family. I knew she wasn't raised with our standards, but really. I watched my husband's face, seeing the familiar struggle. His mother's manipulation versus what he knew was right, years of conditioning fighting against the clear evidence in front of him. There are dogs, Mom. You can't just take them. Darling, I'm trying to teach Emily an important lesson about family loyalty. If she'd just transfer the money and agree to sell that ridiculous little house. Stop. Michael's voice was firmer now. This isn't about the house. This is about control. You're trying to control us by threatening our pets. It's wrong, Mom. It's illegal. Patricia's tone turned icy. I see she's poisoned you against me. After everything I've sacrificed for you, you choose those animals over your own mother. Those animals are family too, I cut in. The kind of family that loves unconditionally, without manipulation or threats. How dare you? Patricia screeched. Michael, are you going to let her speak to me this way? The doorbell rang. Through the window, I saw 2 police cruisers parked outside. Michael looked at me, then at his phone, then back at me. I held my breath. Mom, he said quietly, the police are here. Tell me where Max and Luna are, and maybe we can still fix this. Police? You let them arrest your own mother? I raised you better than this. No, Mom, you raised me to believe that family can do no wrong. That family loyalty means accepting abuse. That love means control. But Emily, his voice strengthened. Emily showed me what real family looks like. It looks like trust, like respect, like Max waiting by the door when I'm sad, or Luna bringing her toys when I'm stressed. That's family. What you're doing, that's just cruelty. I squeezed his hand as he ended the call. Together, we opened the door for the officers. Mrs. Wilson, one officer stepped forward. We've located your dogs at your mother-in-law's residence. Animal control is there now, along with another unit. My knees went weak with relief. Are they okay? They appear to be unharmed. Your friend Lisa from Animal Control is checking them over now. Would you like to press charges? Michael tensed beside me, but I felt his slight nod. Supporting me, finally choosing what's right over what's easy. Yes, I said firmly. Yes, I would. Then let's head over there now. We'll need your statements. The drive to Patricia's Victorian mansion was tense. Michael stared out the window, his hand gripping mine. I could almost see the memories playing through his mind. Years of manipulation disguised as love, control masked as care. You know what finally made me understand, he said suddenly. Last month when I was working late on that big project. I came home at midnight, feeling like a failure. You were asleep on the couch. But Max and Luna, they were right there at the door. No judgment. No criticism. Just happy to see me. Mom's never once greeted me like that. I squeezed his hand as we pulled up to Patricia's house. Lisa was on the front lawn with Max and Luna, who erupted into joyful barks when they saw us. They strained at their leashes as we got out of the car. Emily, Lisa called out. They're fine, a bit anxious, but no harm done. Though your mother-in-law isn't too happy with me checking them over. As if on cue, Patricia appeared in the doorway, flanked by officers. Her perfectly coiffed hair was slightly mussed, her expression a mix of indignation and disbelief. How could you do this to me? She cried, looking past me to Michael. Your own mother. But Michael wasn't listening. He was on his knees with me, being thoroughly covered in dog kisses as Max and Luna celebrated our reunion. Real family, right there on Patricia's manicured lawn. The weeks following Patricia's arrest were a whirlwind of statements, court appearances, and family drama. Michael's phone buzzed constantly with messages from relatives, some supportive, others accusing us of destroying the family. We changed our locks, upgraded our security system, and slowly settled back into our routine. Max and Luna bounced back quickly, though they became anxious whenever we left the house. I started bringing them to work with me, where they became unofficial therapy dogs for nervous pets and worried owners. Watching Max gently comfort a frightened kitten, or Luna soothe a crying child only reinforced what I'd known all along. These weren't just pets. They were healers in their own right. Your dogs have better bedside manner than some doctors I know, my assistant joked one morning, as Max rested his head on the lap of a worried woman waiting for her cat's test results. The only shadow on our recovery was Michael's struggle. He attended therapy twice a week, working through years of manipulation and control. Some nights he'd wake up from nightmares, convinced his mother was right, that he was betraying his family, failing as a son. On those nights, Luna would curl up against his back while Max pressed against his feet, their steady presence anchoring him until the anxiety passed. I keep wondering how I never saw it before, he said one evening as we sat on our back porch watching the dogs play. The way she used money to control everyone. The constant criticism disguised as concern. The way she'd pit family members against each other. Because she trained you not to see it, I replied, taking his hand. But you see it now. That's what matters. The day of Patricia's court hearing arrived sooner than expected. She'd been charged with theft and criminal threatening, facing potential jail time. We sat in a courtroom, Max and Luna's collars in my pocket like talismans, as she entered in an expensive suit, playing the role of dignified family matriarch. Her attorney painted a picture of a concerned mother trying to help her son and daughter-in-law make better life choices. A passionate grandmother-to-be, worried about her future grandchildren growing up in a substandard home. A woman who had made a misguided but well-intentioned mistake. Then the prosecution played our security footage, Patricia's calculated movements, the threatening texts, the demands for money. The judge's expression hardened with each piece of evidence. Mrs. Harrison, the judge said, using Patricia's surname, you've demonstrated a pattern of manipulative and criminal behavior under the guise of family concern. This court takes a dim view of using beloved pets as pawns in family disputes. Patricia's perfect mask cracked. I was trying to help them. That house is too small for a proper family. Emily works too much. She's not a proper wife. I had to do something. The only thing you had to do, the judge replied coldly, was respect your son's marriage and his choices. The sentence came down: 6 months in jail, suspended in favor of 2 years probation, mandatory counseling, and a restraining order keeping her away from us, our home, and especially our dogs. She was also ordered to pay for our new security system and Max and Luna's veterinary checkups after the incident. Patricia's wail of outrage echoed through the courtroom. Michael, you can't let them do this to your mother. But Michael stood firm, his voice clear and steady. No, Mom, I can't let you do this to my family anymore. As we left the courthouse, a small group was waiting. Michael's cousin Anne, his Aunt Susan, and several other relatives who had reached out in support after learning the full story. We should have stopped her years ago, Aunt Susan said, hugging Michael. So many of us saw what she was doing but stayed quiet for the sake of family peace. Not anymore. That evening we hosted a different kind of family dinner. Our small house filled with laughter as Michael's supportive relatives squeezed around our dining table. Max and Luna made the rounds, accepting treats and belly rubs from people who saw them as what they truly were: family. You know, Anne said, watching the dogs play with her kids in the backyard, I always wondered why Patricia hated these two so much. Now I get it. They gave you something she couldn't control: unconditional love. 6 months later, our too small house felt just right. Michael's nightmares had decreased, though Max and Luna still maintained their nightly guard duty. We hear occasional rumors about Patricia, how she was telling people we'd stolen her son, how we turned the family against her. But her words had lost their power. One Sunday morning, as I watched Michael throwing a ball for the dogs in our backyard, I realized something important. Patricia had been right about one thing: family is everything. She just never understood what family really meant. Family is a golden retriever who knows when you need a hug more than a human does. Family is a husky mix who guards your sleep after a nightmare. Family is a husband strong enough to break free from manipulation and choose love over control. Family is the people and pets who love you exactly as you are. Max bounded over with his ball tail wagging, while Luna leaned against my legs. Behind them, Michael smiled, relaxed, happy, free. Our tiny house might not have been Patricia's idea of a proper family home, but it was filled with more love than her massive Victorian mansion had ever known. Sometimes the smallest families are the strongest, and sometimes the best family members have 4 legs and fur.